Hey, Nick Thomas here at the 10th Annual National Cyber Summit with InfoSecSync, and I have a third timer over here.
Yes.
This is her third time coming to this event. This is Kathleen Smith with clearjobs.net. She is the Chief Marketing Officer, and she's going to talk to us about Clear Jobs, right? And what's going on in that area and how best to get a clear job. So Kathleen, welcome.
Nick, it's so great to be back here, and it's
great to have you back.
It's great to be here as the National Cyber Summit celebrates its 10th anniversary. I mean, the team here has done a phenomenal job.
Have you noticed it's a little bit bigger this year?
It's a little bit bigger here. It's great. There's a lot more activity. There's a lot more buzz, seeing so many of the exhibitors. This is our second year doing the job fair. And it's always great being able to share with everyone how great the National Cyber Summit is, what the great job is that the entire volunteer team and their partners have done. And it's great to always do a job fair in this environment because you have people who get really excited about going to the sessions. They start thinking about their career and they start thinking about different things that they want to do. So I'm really happy that we can always provide a job fair alongside the Cyber Summit. Some of the things that we saw this year was that we were able to sell more booth space within the job fair, so more people are seeing that cybersecurity is not something that is just within one industry, it's across all kinds of different industries.
Okay.
So we have commercial and government contractors within our job fair, and the candidates that are coming through are a variety from people who have security clearances and cybersecurity experience, people who don't have security clearance but they do have cyber experience.
Do you see more people this year than last year? Do you see an increase of
We
candidates?
saw a slight increase. What's always interesting when you have an event within a conference like this, we have our pre-registration people who come through, and then there are people who are attending the conference who decide that they want to go through the job fair. So it makes it very different. You never know how to evaluate how many people are going to come, because all of a sudden all these attendees who are here at the conference decide to go over to the job fair. So it's something that you have to think on your feet, like, are you going to have 200 people or are you going to have 400 people?
Right.
We've seen a lot of students this year, and that is sort of a growing trend because there are so many universities that are putting together really great programs. Some of the universities have hands-on programs where the students can get experience, but not many of them do. So that is one of the challenges that we're seeing, is that there are so many great programs out there, so many great partners here at the conference who have great programs. The challenge is that there is not hands-on experience for the students to be able to really gain that work experience. Now,
So how do you think they can be set apart at your booth or in general? How can they set themselves apart from the person next to them? Even though they might have went through the same program, the resume looks exactly the same. How do you pick the difference?
So the way that the students and pretty much any job seeker can really set themselves apart if they have a certificate or they have an education but they don't have the experience is really to talk about the initiative that they have taken to get experience. So do they have a home lab? Have they built their home lab? What are some of the challenges that they've experienced and overcome on their own home lab? And being able to talk about that not only in their resume but also during an interview. There's also so many competitions out there. The meetups have competitions, various different schools. We have 4 or 5 competitions going on here currently at the Cyber Summit. And what I always advise candidates is whenever you're going to go into a competition, be sure you're looking at it as work experience, because here we're talking about a limited time, a big challenge, new people, and limited resources. And I don't know about you, Nick, but those are things that sound very similar to a work environment.
Oh, absolutely. I want to know what you've done other than you've gone to school, you've prepped yourself. The home lab is a great thing. What differentiates your home lab different than someone else, or what happened in your home lab? What are you doing? What competitions have you been in? What did you see in those competitions?
So one thing that I always say with people who are going into competitions is really look at, okay, what did you learn? What were your
Absolutely.
failures? What would you have done differently? Because those are questions that are always going to come through in an interview, be it a phone interview or a face-to-face interview with a hiring manager. And if you don't have the work experience, being able to pull that from a competition, being able to say, this is what I learned when I was in this competition. But also in a competition, you're also going to learn about your communication skills. Are you able to articulate the problem to those around you? Are you able to take a leadership position within a group of people that you just met? How do you allocate resources? But one thing that a lot of people do is they look at, well, how did I rank with the competition? And I would say at the end of a competition, take about 15 minutes and write out what happened.
What you did and what happened, yeah.
Yeah, what was the challenge? How did you communicate it? What were the hurdles that you had to overcome? It doesn't really matter if you won or not, it is what experience that you
And how you
learned
played
about.
the game. What did you have to do to jump from box to box or to capture the next flag and so forth?
And then I think that volunteering into the community is something else that I tell students that they really need to work on, is you need to look at those other skills that you have learned that are more your soft skills. Yes, it's really great that you've gotten an education and that you got the certificate, but are you putting yourself out there? Are you taking risks? Are you learning new technologies? Are you learning something new? A lot of us, even
Are you attending the Cyber Summit, right?
Yeah. Well, there's been so many great students who have come in here and have been volunteering, and I think that's great as well. But one thing that you do with volunteering is actually networking. And that is one skill that many of the students are not doing. They're not learning how to network. And even many of our transitioning veterans don't know how to network because they always follow.
They've always been told what to do, when to do it.
And networking is how we all get jobs. Even if it is a cybersecurity job, it is definitely something that you need to expand your network. And volunteering in the community, being helpful within a meetup or any of the CTFs that are going on, the people that you meet are going to be able to pass on information for you. And so I think those are some of the critical things that candidates can do to separate themselves.
Set themselves apart from everything. Well, Kathleen, thanks for coming again. It was great to see you.
It was great
Hope to see you next year and hear what's new in the market. And thanks for staying in sync with InfoSecSync.
Thank you.